Welcome back to the Racing Mind video series, where we journey deeper into the human mind than anyone has ever gone before. In this video series, we untangle the ancient mystery of mental illness and teach you what you need to know before your racing mind gets the best of you. This groundbreaking series provides answers to some of the deepest mysteries of the human mind and reveals, for the first time in history, the precise cause of mental and emotional illness and the psychophysiological basis of a wide range of psychiatric disorders and associated medical conditions. These educational videos, which present concepts that are so new that they are just beginning to make their way through the medical field, are based on thousands of hours of direct patient analysis and clinical observation in conjunction with the latest research on psychiatric disorders from around the world. In this segment of this series, we will discuss gun violence in relation to neuronal hyperexcitability and psychiatric disorders. As discussed in video 15 of this series entitled Mental Illness, Many Disorders, One Mechanism, virtually all human behavior is driven by one or both of two things: the avoidance of pain and the pursuit of pleasure. Of course, human beings also have a moral compass, but that tends to fall in priority as the drive to avoid pain and the desire to pursue pleasure increase. For persons with hyperexcitable brains, both emotional pain and emotional pleasure tend to be experienced more intensely. That naturally increases the drive for such persons to avoid pain and pursue pleasure. Many of those with hyperexcitable brains have found that the fastest and easiest way to do both is to use drugs that do both. Within minutes after ingestion, alcohol, marijuana, cocaine, heroin, and other drugs of abuse can markedly reduce pain and increase pleasure. This is the primary reason that persons with hyperexcitable brains tend to become addicted to psychoactive substances. One of the many problems with these drugs is that their effects do not last for very long. Another problem is that they tend to lose their effectiveness over time. Yet another problem is that they can gradually cause the user to experience even more emotional pain than before the use began. Consequently, the quantity of drugs used and the frequency with which they are used tend to increase over time, as does their expense. At the same time, the user's ability to secure and maintain employment tend to decrease. This reduces income at the time when it is needed most. The resulting stress causes the user to become even more moody, impatient, and impulsive, symptoms that further increase the need for drugs and raise the risk of verbal and physical violence if the needed drugs cannot be obtained. They also raise the risk of illegal activity to obtain drug money, which commonly includes firearms and other assault weapons. In addition to the threat that these weapons pose to others, they also pose a threat to the user when drugs are no longer adequately effective in controlling the surging emotions that are driven by the hyperexcitable brain. All of these factors combine to make neuronal hyperexcitability the elusive link between mental illness, substance abuse, and gun violence. We estimate that approximately 98% of all gun-related injuries and fatalities are rooted in neuronal hyperexcitability, and that virtually every drug problem, drug-related crime, violent crime, homicide, and suicide is driven by this inherited trait. Thus, the key to curbing these societal problems is to look beyond the symptoms and treat the underlying problem of neuronal hyperexcitability. The best natural ways to do this include stress reduction, establishment of an early sleep schedule, regular exercise, finding meaningful purpose in life, and avoiding the use of alcohol, cocaine, and other addictive drugs. If these interventions are either too difficult to implement or fail to yield satisfactory improvement, then treatment with neuroregulators and other brain-calming medications may be necessary, particularly during high-stress periods in the person's life. Control your brain, control your life. We hope that you are benefiting from this video series. Portions of this video and others in the series were taken from the books The Racing Mind and Am I Depressed or Am I Bipolar? Those interested in developing a deeper understanding of this topic can also refer to the scientific publication, The Multi-Circuit Neuronal Hyperexcitability Hypothesis of Psychiatric Disorders. Please note that these materials in this video series are for educational purposes only and are not intended to guide treatment without formal evaluation. This video series is sponsored by the Binder Foundation, a charitable organization that is dedicated to the enhancement of human life through research and education on disorders of the mind, body, and spirit. If you have found this video to be a benefit to you, please share it with your family and friends. And please don't forget, your feedback is important to us.